So if you clicked on the video, I'm guessing you definitely want to know why I've put the thumbnail the way it is. So is it better, and generally is Acheron going to be worth it for future, and is she worth it as a meta character going forward? And in general, is she a meta character that's going to last for a long period of time until probably even the next anniversary? So those are the questions we're going to dive into, or just basically answer as quickly as possible. Hi, my name is Ian Gatia. This is Gatia Gaming. Welcome to my channel. If you like the video, hit that like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So basically, Acheron is, for my thoughts, the type of character who has really outshined her capability in terms of being a DPS character, and even through the patches that have gone out, the only character I can say who even close to matches her kit or playstyle, or in the event even her meta, or being in a sort of way better, is probably Firefly. Now this is why I'm going to say this specifically. If you are playing an Acheron that is E0 S0, right? Because mine is now at the moment S1 with E4. If you are playing with an E0 S0 Acheron and you are continuing to go through the patches, I personally feel that there is the chance that the character will fall off for you specifically if there be another character or another specific unit that does her job better. The only thing that Acheron does that is better than majority, or if not all, single characters in the game is her technique. When you are roaming around, you can pretty much kill any single character, any single enemy that you see in the overworld, and get their items as quickly as possible, and that's what allows her to be a very unique character in terms of her playstyle and what she does specifically. Now, is that really helpful to you as a player? Yes, I feel so. Every single gacha game that comes out has an element of farming. She basically enables that overworld farming to be much easier, much faster, and even when you're playing something like the simulated universe, it enables you to go through the process way faster. Now, yes, they created a whole new version of the simulated universe that makes you go through this process way faster than usual. But the thing is, you know, when you're going through hitting or killing mobs, you want to be as quick as possible, get it done, get in, get out, done, right? What Acheron does is she enables you to be able to move around, kill things as quickly as possible, not even care about what's going on, and, you know, enjoy yourself, play the game, farm, put as little time as possible into playing the game. My second point is the fact that the reason why I feel if you have an S0 free-to-play Acheron, the chances of you letting go of this character down the road are going to be very high. Because, and this is my thinking. Let's look at Firefly. Firefly, especially her eidolons, right? But even her kit in general. You see, you would have to sacrifice quite a bit, and you would have to take a lot of your time to basically farm to the point where she has probably 160 speed with a good amount of attack and a good crit to crit damage ratio. This is an Acheron that I've just invested highly mostly on whatever relic I can get that has crit damage, crit rate, and some speed, as you can see here. Crit damage with some speed, crit rate with some crit damage and attack, and then obviously speed with attack. Now, unfortunately, I've not been able to get one that has crit damage, so as you can see here, majority of them do have just mostly the odd stat, which is not helpful at all. So as soon as I'm able to get a speed stat with the crit damage, crit rate, it will be much better. But obviously, I have my attack goblin, attack sphere, and obviously my attack rope. Now, the question becomes, you know, how does she actually do better, and what does she do better than, you know, Acheron? What does she do better than majority of other characters? Now, I feel that getting eidolons for Acheron is going to benefit you more than just leaving her at E0. Now, the reason why is because if you at least get her to E2, it removes the value of her having two nihility characters in one team and enabling you to put a buffer in her team. Now, if you have this, then she can be meta, and she can be kept meta moving forward. But if you have E0, it's pretty hard. Now, the reason why I say that is, even if you look at the eidolons for Firefly, who came out after. First of all, Firefly, you just need a good, you can get her to 160 speed with a decent amount of break effect, And on top of the fact that, you know, when you actually play the character, her talent is that it mostly increases her speed by a significant amount when you're playing. When you're using your skill, you obviously have your ults immediately, and then you get such a big increase in your speed stats that by the time you're actually playing Firefly, you have like about 4 or 5 turns within one turn, or 4 or 5 attacks within one turn. Not only that, her Eidolons just make her a cheat code for the game. I mean, her Eidolon 1 completely, it enhances, obviously the enhanced skill, ignores 15% of the target's damage. I mean, what? And then her E2 basically removes the essence of her even using a skill point, on top of the fact that you can basically go up again when you break an enemy's weakness. Now obviously I'm not saying Firefly is better, because each of these characters do need a team to help them out. Obviously Firefly being the fact that you do need a Ruin Mei, and I do think that you need a Trailblazer to basically increase the amount of super break damage that she does. But now it's also similar for Acheron. Acheron at E2, you remove the whole point of putting another Nihility character on this slot, and you sort of can basically go for a buffer. Now if you manage to get the new character, this if you manage to get this character specifically, then it does, obviously Jiao Q, if you got this character, it does increase the odds of her being a bit more useful. No, I wouldn't say useful, like increasing the amount of damage that she can do. But at the moment, for someone like me who's free to play, you know, I save as much as I can, and I summon for one character to invest in one character. So at the moment I'm very close to basically getting an E6 Acheron without having spending anything, because my account on this account is just mostly with Acheron and Firefly. But this conclusion has put me to the fact that as much as I want to summon for other characters or new characters that come up, because obviously everybody wants to, I think it's better to summon for, especially this type of attack characters, this type of like damage dealing attack characters, it is way better to summon for an Eidolon than to summon for just the character themselves and then maybe play with a free to play Lightcone. Because I will not lie, if let's say I was E0, S0 and I managed to get at least an E1 for Firefly, then realistically I think Firefly is actually way better. Right now I feel Firefly is way better than Acheron at E0, if Acheron was at E0. Right now Acheron is really busted 100%. Obviously this Acheron specifically. Apart from that, just the aspect of playing Acheron. Acheron I think is just a fun character. She covers a unit, or covers element that is not really known to have very many units that deal too much damage. So for example, like Kafka is the only like really big damage unit in the lightning sphere, right? And also in the path of nihility. But when you look at how Acheron plays, you know, she plays very well, she plays very good. It's very fun to see her burst and her techniques, you know, even the aesthetic of a character really matter for a person to summon for them. If you've played other games such as Honkai Impact 3rd, then obviously your reference is Raiden Mei. And if you've played obviously Genshin Impact, we're talking about the Shogun, right? The Shogun Mei, or whatever her name is. So I feel at the end of the day, you know, is it better to invest in Acheron or just get her as a general character? I feel my answer would be that it's better to just invest in the character as much as possible, and in doing so you will be you'll be enabling yourself to have more utility from that character. I will be talking about who I think has better Eidolons in another video, but in this case my answer stands clear just from having this account and with experience, is that if she was at E0 and I had my Firefly at this point, I feel my Firefly is way better than my Acheron, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I think everyone has their thoughts and views, so obviously if you have your own thoughts, hit the comment below and I'll try and reply as much as possible. But with that said, I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one.